Hi everyone and welcome to the episode 2 of Hashtag B2. We started the campaign on 8th of March 2021 thinking that this is just going to be a one-time Women's Day affair, but thanks to all our viewers who have gone to Inspire and YouTube channel or even the LinkedIn where they've come back with so many stories and so many experiences that I'm so glad to say that hashtag B2 and the real stories and the real experiences are going to be coming to you every month now. And I'm very proud to announce and very elated to announce our illustrious panel that has joined us for something which is the most dire topic of today. I think nobody will say that this is not happening, but nobody is speaking about it. And there lies the problem. So, without much ado, let me introduce you to our dynamic panel of corporate women who have come together to talk about something that makes the most meaningful sense in today's time. I have with us, and please welcome with me, Ms. Ankita Sharma, 15 years of experience in brand and product management. Hi, Ankita. Welcome to the show. We have with us Ms. Manjeet Kaur, a leader, program manager, PMP certified, and PMI volunteer. I welcome you to the show, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ms. Gayatri Gandhi, she's a TEDx speaker. Hi, Gayatri. And India's first, why don't you say India's first certified consultant for Gayatri?
For Marie
Oh my,
Kondo.
oh wow, this is excellent. I'm really happy to have you on board. We have with us Ms. Shravanti, 15 years of learning, ins and outs of corporate world experience. I'm very glad to have you on board with us, Shravanti. Ms. Suruchi Patel, a digital marketer with 9 years of experience in the marketing world. Welcome, Suruchi. And last, but definitely not the least, Ms. Rakhi Sharma, experienced HR personnel, advocate of zero tolerance for workplace harassment. Wow, I am very happy to have you all here. Rakhi, why don't we start with you? Tell the world what you like, what you don't like. What is LinkedIn for you? When you come to LinkedIn, what it means, and what has been your experience that you want to share with the world today through the platform hashtag #MeToo.
Uh, Thanks, Poonam, for inviting me, first of all. So LinkedIn for me is more of, connecting people professionally. And from HR point of view, it was for me more of hiring them, talking to them, and getting the right people for my organization. Eventually, it happens as, when you get a lot of LinkedIn requests. And in fact, last week, I got a LinkedIn request from a program manager. I won't name the company. He started the conversation hierarchy. I said like hello, and second thing is how are you? I was like okay, I'm doing good. How can I help you? So the third is do you go to gym? I was like, isn't it my personal space? How does it matter, right? And then I just said like, is there something I can help you out with? Else, connect me when you have any job requirement. If I have a job requirement or you have a job requirement for me, let me know. I just cut off the conversation and he got the point that you know what, there's no point in talking more than this. And there have been many cases actually from like it's just a recent one which I can share right now. You come across a lot of these cases.
Yes.
And you just have to know where to shut them up and in a firm and polite way at the same time, like because you cannot dirty yourself with just interacting or keep on interacting with them, and if it exceeds more, then I just go ahead and block them also.
Right. Has
Yes.
it impacted you emotionally anytime, Rakhi? Any such experience? Do you go to
Initially, yeah, initially it had, like when you're new to that accessing it, but then eventually you just know how to go ahead with it. Initially couple of times, yes, I was like I was like what the hell is this, it's not working out for me, right? And then you just say okay, this is how people are, and you just have to deal with them by just not entertaining them. That's all.
Right. Okay.
And I do this posting, random posting, where I'm really frustrated with these guys. I go ahead and do a LinkedIn posting, which actually put a thought, and people who gets the message gets the message.
Oh, you do that?
Yes, I just do a normal LinkedIn posting, like thought for the day,
Okay.
right? And that's my way of sharing it, and then you get a lot of people pouring it their heart out.
I think that's a part of your pushback mechanism, is it?
Yeah, yes.
And
That's
has
the
it been
part of
working?
it. Is definitely like a stress buster for people who are going through it. I would say, but they also know that they are not alone. Everyone goes through it. It's just that you have been vocal about it in a more polite and firm way, and yeah, that's how the part and parcel of the corporate world or a LinkedIn world as such.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing. I'll come back to you. Let's
Yeah.
hear it from Suruchi now. Suruchi, do you think speaking up matters?
Honestly, I'm not sure anymore because I used to speak up a lot earlier on different platforms when we started with Facebook or Instagram and now on LinkedIn. But then ultimately, what happens is that you don't get a solution. There are still people who still send the same kind of messages to you again. So I think my pushback mechanism, I've internalized it. I've told myself that okay, just move on. Don't let this affect you. Move on. That's basically become my process more and more now. And talking about my personal experience with the whole online harassment situation, I'm a digital marketer and a content creator. And as a content creator on LinkedIn, as soon as I would post something which is related to my work or my industry or my field, I would start getting these random messages from people. So whenever you post, you start getting these random LinkedIn requests and messages. And it came to a point where there was this one person who said, "Are you interested in working from my home opportunity?" So for a second, I was like, "Oh, probably he's asking me for a work from home opportunity."
Yeah.
But then I got a second message that I'm offering work from my home opportunities for marketers, and that's where I was like, this is too much. People are, the whole work from home concept now. People are turning it into work from my home concept, and that's extremely.
Look at the creativity, Suruchi. Look at the creativity level when it comes to harassers also.
Harassing. Yes.
Exactly.
Hashtag harassing creativity, right?
Exactly. So now they know that marketers are also freelancers and content creators are also freelancers. So they're using this sort of language to,
Right.
harass people. And um, I was really frustrated. I was like, okay, I'm going to block this person, report this person, write about him on my LinkedIn profile and all of that. But after a point of time, I was like, this is similar to eve teasing, right, on the road. You pass and someone says something and you can't fight with everyone. All you can do is just feel bad for 2 minutes and then move on and just tell yourself, yeah, you have to move on. That's it. That's what I did. I think I don't really have a great pushback mechanism as of now.
We take that point. I think it'll be prudent to bring in Manjeet ma'am on it right now. What do you think, ma'am? What has been your experience? Could you please put your mic on? Yeah.
So sorry for that.
No problem.
So mine actually, as I mentioned earlier, has not been as harrowing, perhaps as other more younger, I would say, corporate, women, people who've been in the corporate for a long time, short time, whatever. But yes, definitely, especially as Suruchi also said, you post something and immediately, a lot of people view it. And then they start, sending you LinkedIn requests. Now, you may have just skimmed through their profile or just, seen perhaps a designation, and you think this person is, kind of, well, worth my connection, or, perhaps I'll be able to help out this person. And especially during COVID times, you do feel that, there are so many people out there needing help, and you would be doing your share of good if you could go ahead and perhaps, help them, as Raki perhaps wanted, to help them out in any manner, perhaps refer them, guide them. And then it turns out that, they all they want to do is just perhaps, they're feeling bored and they just want to talk to you. Had it been just talking, it still would have been okay, especially if you have some time. But most of it is like, um, they want to invade your personal space. They ask you questions like, as Suruchi said, I'm sorry, Raki said, do you go to the gym? Or, random ones like, where do you live? And what exactly is it that you do? And then when you guide them to your LinkedIn profile that, whatever I do or I have done in the past, you can check it out on my profile. Then
Absolutely.
again, they ask, they ask, oh, so you also do this, or you volunteer here, or you volunteer there, and then you finally lose your cool and you say, okay, what exactly is it that you want my help with? No, just chit chatting. So then you have to go ahead and tell them this is not some kind of social media platform. This is business networking, strictly speaking, for LinkedIn. And if you are not here to network for your business purpose, or for a job opportunity perhaps, then I would like to go ahead and seize this conversation. And at times, if they really go ahead and become offensive, that okay, you are too arrogant, or they maybe pass comments on your English or your knowledge of English and their lack of it, maybe they're insecure about it, then, well, all you can do is just block them perhaps, which I have done to quite a few in the past. But my pushback mechanism, if you want to ask, is now I am slightly more, I would say, careful when I'm, screening people, or, accepting connection requests. I do go ahead and, spend a minute or two perhaps going through the profile. If I find that, okay, this could be one of those fake accounts perhaps, or, this seems dodgy in any manner, then I do not go ahead and accept it. And I have blocked quite a few people in the past. I mean, I've sometimes slotted time for that.
Right, this is interesting. Do you think it will be a good exercise for LinkedIn to actually run an AI kind of a mechanism on LinkedIn to understand how many women have gone ahead to block people? Do you think should
Absolutely.
put out as an appeal to LinkedIn that hey,
Yes, I think that's
you
exactly. I think
understand the data of how
absolutely.
women are blocking, because blocking is it's a huge step where you're saying no means
Absolutely.
no, back off, right? It's a back off.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what blocking means, right?
Yes, and to be fair, it should work both ways. I mean, let's not just say that only women are harassed. There could be men out there also. There could be other folks also harassed on the basis of their color, caste, creed,
Right.
orientation. We don't know. So I think, but definitely, if LinkedIn has any way of screening, or perhaps tightening the checks before allowing anybody to go ahead and make an account and start sending out random connection requests, I think it would be definitely very useful, for all people who are getting harassed. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much. Let's go to Gayatri now. Gayatri, what is your view? What has been your experience? And you've been a TEDx speaker. Please share it with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So the nature of my work, demands that I do a lot of Instagram lives and a lot of live sessions, because I'm showcasing how to do the KonMari way of folding, etc. So it's very interesting that the kind of trolls that one starts getting and the comments that start coming while the chat, while the live is going on, because then you realize that the people are really, really strange, and the kind of remarks. And in the last few sessions that I've had, I've seen that the people who remarked on my Instagram live or a Facebook live, they started sending me LinkedIn requests, thinking that, that would perhaps be an easier way to maybe contact me, or because I would pay more attention because it's a business networking, website. But I think over the last 1 year, especially because everything becoming virtual, I too, realized that I need to be more careful about screening such kind of people, because I think as women, especially, we are conditioned from childhood to ignore or to let go of these things, because if somebody even harasses us publicly, we tend to ignore them, or we just say, no, it's nothing has happened, because I think, unfortunately, that's how it's always been. And I think even to our children, we are like, no, just ignore. But I think it's time that we do somewhere, speak up in a way, at least in a platform like the way we are having right now, because, I have seen that in the last few months, that the way I have now started accepting or rejecting LinkedIn requests, especially the way Manjeet was talking about, because one needs to be careful and respect your own dignity, because otherwise it's very easy for these people to come into your space like that. And I think there were time, honestly, how it emotionally struck me, because I felt that I was doing such a like a regular thing of showing how to fold and how to do a normal thing, like not that I'm demeaning my work, but I just felt it was not something that I was showcasing my, the way I look or anything like that. And in that simple way of my work, I felt that if people were trolling me also, I felt that what would these, the celebrities, what they talk about, or generally, I think the younger generation, it can be really demeaning and very, emotionally hurtful and impactful. And honestly, last few months, because one has been able to internalize it, like Suruchi said, I too have been able to do so. But my pushback button, has been to start honestly to look beyond and not pay attention too much to it, because it can really otherwise go into your brain to a level where it can really pull you down. So,
Right.
that has been my balance up until now. And I feel that, platforms like yourself is a good way to, keep that balance where one speaks out also, because it's important that women get aware, because otherwise it's a very thin line and people don't know when they are getting harassed. So I feel that we should continue to have such platforms to talk about like this.
Thank you, Gayatri. I think you've put a very important point on the panel today, that there is a very thin line, and most of the times it happens that we don't understand. Most of the times we are getting harassed and we don't even understand, and that's where the whole the other party thinking that they can continue doing and playing with the minds and playing with emotions can just possibly continue. And it is a lot of awareness at our level also that needs to be. The V2 movement is trying to bring that awareness from different perspectives together, and hence this panel discussion today. Gayatri, I want to ask you one question. Manjeet ma'am said about it, Rakhi said, Suruchi said, we don't want to waste our time. We are there for a purpose, we are there for business. Is it safe to say that blocking is the answer?
See, honestly speaking, I would love that if LinkedIn does take a big stand in, like we were discussing right now, about artificial intelligence really playing a big part in it, because I think the users who send such kind of, strange messages, LinkedIn should have like a, mechanism where they see the kind of usage the platform is being used for by these people. Because if it's only being sent random messages to women and generally, then automatically LinkedIn should, block them out rather than us blocking them out. And I think LinkedIn is a big enough company for them to, invest in a, such, mechanism like this, to be able to do such kind of screening. Because for our end, I think for our own sanity, we will be doing the blocking bit. But if it has to go to a step forward, then LinkedIn will have to step up and do such a thing and put their monies specifically towards this, because going forward, virtual is the way. And if online harassment is going to continue, then somewhere big companies like these will have to play a big part in putting a stop to it also. That's what I
And
guess.
making the women feel safe.
Most
I mean, just imagine we are virtually trying to connect with people, and there also we're getting harassed. Forget about that we going to our offices and we are getting harassed, or we going to somewhere out and we get, this is a virtual medium, still it continues. So it speaks a lot about mindset and the availability of harassment being a part of our life.
Correct.
Ankita, what is your view? Have you ever noticed that I'm picking up from what Gayatri said. I have noticed myself that people who troll or write inappropriate, things to you on DMs or on even on posts. Have you seen that you will go back and check their profile to see that they have no post, they have no photo, they have never interacted, and almost on LinkedIn it's become like Twitter or Instagram where it's a fake profile or a profile where somebody is trying to hide behind. Has it been your experience, Ankita?
I personally have done that, and I completely agree with the other panelists saying that cutting them out of their system, stopping that negativity, is a medium. But I think we as responsible human beings also should screen first and then probably block them. The reason being that blocking them, if I block them, it gives an opportunity for them to move from me to somebody else.
Yes.
But if I screen and if I make a notice out of their profile that this particular person has done something like this, it becomes an awareness for other people that, okay, this is something that needs to be stopped. This needs to be looked upon. I completely go by what Gayatri said, that I reckon with her that, LinkedIn is such a big company that they can definitely invest in an AI. And I think there should be some trigger words, trigger words in a conversation that triggers to their profile that this conversation is not going in that particular platform. This conversation is not on a professional platform. This needs to be looked over, because there are so many profiles, there must be millions and millions of profiles for them to go through everyone. Another thing that I was yesterday talking to my husband, because in my past experience, I have worked with direct selling companies, and in direct selling companies, there should be certain parameters for everyone to come up to make a profile on LinkedIn, For direct selling companies, somebody who's just a consultant, somebody who's just a distributor, they would also make a profile and they would also go randomly and meet people. And they get an opportunity to come out and to harass as well. Now, there are certain people who would be on a higher level. There would be people on lower levels and on middle levels. Right. And we all being women, yes, as I've already heard that, bachpan se we have heard, ignore it. But now is not the time that we ignore it, because now we are so vocal. We really need to scream first and then probably take a step and do it. For me, it has been an experience before COVID, and he was on a very, very senior level, I must tell you. And I thought that it is a direct opportunity from a very senior level coming and talking to me, because I have been into marketing and training for a very long time, for 15 years. So I thought that this is something that I would want to go out and to achieve certain things in my life. And, when you are on LinkedIn, today you have to share your email IDs, you share your phone numbers also. And this person got the liberty to take my phone number from there. WhatsApped me in the middle of the night. Though obviously it was middle of the night, I did not answer. Next day in the morning, I answered this particular person. And the conversation that started happened. OMG, I have to tell you, Poonam, it was like out of this particular world. Because as I said, that there is a very thin line that you have to understand, and your experience may differ from somebody else's experience. So you would not understand where is this particular line. It is for you to identify where is this particular line. So this conversation went on a very different level, and ultimately I had to tell him that I am going to post the entire conversation that I have of yours on my WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, and he got shit scared. I am very sure he got shit scared, and he said, please do not report me. I said, I am going to report to you, and I'm going to search you on Facebook. I'm going to search you on Instagram, and I'm going to share it with the entire world who is connected to you. With LinkedIn today, you have an opportunity that you have common connections. So I harassed him. I harassed him. I said, see, I am going to tell you the entire world that this is what you're talking, and this is your level. You are supposed to be on this level in professionalism, and you are talking to people who admire you, who look up to you. Yes. So you have to control that. So I went back and I started harassing him. Stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this. And I remember he telling me once, he said, please don't do it. I have never been blocked on LinkedIn. People will come to know that I have been blocked on LinkedIn. I said, I am going to block you on LinkedIn. I blocked him. And I did send a few connections of his, which are my common connections, those WhatsApp chats, and I told him that this is what is happening, So I am very sure that today he must have faced those consequences internally within his team or something like that. But, yes, I completely feel that we really need to scream out first and then probably block them. Because we cannot give them an opportunity to go harass somebody, probably an intern, who's looking up to open for a job opportunity or something like that. Because these people are so young, they come out of colleges, they come out of this world, and they look up to LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is supposed to be such a pious place for all of us.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. I hope somebody from LinkedIn is going to be listening to this.
I hope that your platform wherein we are speaking today, it goes beyond, and someday somebody hears us out, and someday it is looked upon and people make changes,
Absolutely.
We all need to make changes.
Great. So, thank you, Ankita. Let's hear it from Shravanti. She's waiting actually. Shravanti, what has been, and you also mentioned about that you have your friends who faced, why don't you speak about it?
Thank you so much, Poonam, for giving me this opportunity to be a panelist here. So, I actually wanted to just highlight one thing here. Being in corporate world, for men, it's very easy because it's a very common platform where everybody works together. So that kind of environment, dealing with the people, gelling with each other, gives them a kind of a leverage that, okay, this is the person with whom I can move easily. So moving that easy thing, people take an advantage and think that, okay, this person is moving a bit more freely with me. I can actually go into their personal space and all that. So there was an incident which actually happened with one of my colleagues, and she was like quite tensed, and because this person was a very senior person in the organization and she has just joined the company, and she was feeling like, how do I deal with this person is constantly messaging, asking, would you like to join me for the dinner or come for a lunch, and all those kind of a thing. And it went on a very a chat where she was not comfortable doing with this kind of
You
at
mean
this kind of
LinkedIn platform? He was trying to communicate. Is
yeah,
that
he was
correct?
trying to communicate with her on the LinkedIn platform with an
Okay.
anonymous name. And apparently, when she tried to find out it is this person, because the kind of instances which he was putting in the LinkedIn, referring to all these kind of things, it apparently came out that she and this person are working together in the same organization, because there are a lot of link ups, the conversations brought in, and these conversations were like a very uncomfortable conversation which not a person would like to have with any of the senior management person in the company. So she came back to me as a friend. She asked me, how do I go about it? I don't want to lose the job because I know this is the person. Because if I go and complain about this person, either I would be out or something would happen or something can. Because there are a lot of people who get scared about what would be the consequences of me reporting this, because it is on the LinkedIn platform, so the official complaint cannot be launched with the company. So I told her, don't be tense, don't take the stress, just try giving it back. Tell that person that I know who you are, and start putting in that pressure onto that person that I have all the details, who you are. I'm going to post about you on the LinkedIn. On my page, I will tag your profile, the actual profile you're, and she actually mentioned that this is you, this is what it is, and he got really scared. That moment he felt that, okay, I know this, that I'm gonna be terminated or something is gonna happen really shit with me. So he started asking her, please don't do this, I'm very sorry about it, I'm very apologetic what I did, please don't take this forward, let's cut it short, I'm not gonna harass you or I'm not gonna ask you for anything, but this is the end of the conversation and don't take it forward. But actually what she did is she just went back, took the screenshot of all the conversation, reported it back to the company HR, and a serious action actually was taken against this person. So the whole thing was that if you are scared or if you are not confident how to deal with the situation, people can actually take the advantage of you, and you may end up in doing anything for that matter of time in the scare or lacking the confidence. So it's always about how you deal with that situation and deal with that with confidence and scare the other person. And like Ankita said that she harassed him, so she also did the same thing, which actually helped her to come out of this situation now in a
I
very
hope a
smooth,
lot
easy
of
way.
young girls, thank you, Shravani. I hope a lot of young girls are listening to this. I hope a lot of women are listening to this, and equally the men who feel that they are being harassed. And I hope whatever everybody in the panel today said brings and uplifts somebody who is going through a troubled time. The whole idea of hashtag B2 is to talk about real stories so that it normalizes the pain and not the problem. We are bringing the problem up, but we are trying to normalize the pain. So, to conclude, I think this is going to be a little rapid fire kind of a thing. We'll start again in the same fashion with Raki. Raki, what is your appeal to LinkedIn or to any, especially LinkedIn, because our expectation is not to get sexually abusively harassed. Anything that disturbs us must not happen in any platform, especially LinkedIn. I want you to, and everyone, all the panelists, to make an appeal today to LinkedIn. Raki, with you. Raki, please put your mic on.
Yes. So one thing I would really request LinkedIn is, to have a background check before you make a person add a member or to the LinkedIn. Some background check has to be done either to HR or so that the fake profile goes less. The number of fake profiles creation reduces drastically. Second thing is, if you feel that you've been harassed, even for so what we do is in the HR forum, we ensure that all our HR friends in the forum, we just pass it on. Just take care, this guy is fake. So this is how we safeguard HR, like just check him out, something like that. We just don't entertain. So it's our way of soft way of showing it, like stay away, not interested. So these are the two mechanisms which I felt like works to some extent, right? And yeah, LinkedIn for sure. Like we really need a background check before you add a profile.
Great. Manjeet ma'am, what is your view? What is your appeal to LinkedIn?
I agree, of course, with Rakhi, and the appeal to LinkedIn would be definitely tighter screening. Yes, use AI for, those keywords, which would be a trigger, definitely. But also, if LinkedIn could have perhaps, a harassment org or a team, not for
Yeah.
their internal organization, but for the online harassment that happens every day. And as I mentioned earlier, not just to women, but to people of all genders, caste, creed, orientation, who are getting harassed online, who are getting trolled online every day. So definitely there ought to be a forum or a team or an org within LinkedIn to check that. And that's really the need of the hour.
You
Thank
said it so right. You said it so right. Even I was thinking that why LinkedIn being, Ankita, you said pious place. I hope LinkedIn is listening to this. We come to LinkedIn with that kind of comfort, that we are here for business, for knowledge, for learning. How about having something like a tab? Before we block, if we can prompt LinkedIn saying that this person, and they can have a private to our messages, what we want to report, and they can take an action. As you said, Gayatri, you also mentioned the same thing, that before I block, isn't this responsibility of a social platform where they can make the environment more safer? Because here everybody on this panel is talking about the same thing. Everybody has the same experience, right? Great. Suruchi, what is your appeal to LinkedIn?
I would say the current mechanism that exists, which is of blocking. I would like to know how many women have to block a profile for LinkedIn to actually delete the profile from LinkedIn.
Yes.
Is that actually happening? I would like to know that first. Like, what's the point of us blocking it? Is it just safeguarding me, or if 6 women or 10 women or 20, what's the number?
It's a very good point. Is there a matrix of blocking? If 10 people block somebody, then I think it should highlight LinkedIn to do something about it.
Yeah.
Great point. Anything else?
I think that's it. I want them to tell me what they're doing with the current mechanisms. How is it protected? How are they safeguarding on us from online harassment by giving us that report or block feature? I think that's
True. Thank you so much. Thank you. Gayatri?
Yeah, I agree with everybody. In fact, I too have thought of what Manjeet said about, why do we need to have harassment, groups that we used to have in our jobs, or in our, corporate organization. But LinkedIn is also an organization where all of us are coming in. So definitely there should be a platform or a org or a team over there where we can reach out to them so that they can make it safe for us. If they want us to interact and network with one another, then they should also give us an opportunity where we know we can reach out to them and tell them that this is not right and this is right. So I personally feel.
Thank you so much. Ankita?
I think, like earlier I said, there need to be some trigger points. One can be that. The second can be that obviously if one person or 2 people or 10 people have blocked this particular person, it needs to trigger. The third thing, I think there should be a way to report abuse as well.
Right.
Instagram gives you that opportunity. Facebook gives you that opportunity. I think LinkedIn should also give you an opportunity wherein you can report an abuse and instantly it can be taken over.
Right.
And like Instagram, what they do is they completely go through the entire situation that has been reported, and then they decide whether the person needs to be blocked, and then they tell you as well.
Yes, the reason.
They revert back. So LinkedIn should also think on those particular platforms. And fourth, yes, definitely the most important thing, like Manjeet ma'am has said, that there needs to be certain parameters, certain qualifications, or certain like Rakhi has also said, certain HR approvals that this particular profile is worth being on LinkedIn. Certain things, certain measurements that need to be taken. And it's unfortunate, I have to tell you, this is such an unfortunate situation that we are discussing right now, because we're not supposed to discuss this.
Right.
We shouldn't be discussing, we shouldn't be talking about being harassed. We shouldn't be. We should be talking about building the nation, building yourself, building your network. And LinkedIn being such a place, you should not be talking about harassment there. But this is such an unfortunate circumstances these days. And I think, yes, these parameters would definitely help the coming people, the interns, the younger generation, to protect themselves. We are always there because we have gone through it. But for them, they never know. I said everybody has a different experience. So these parameters, if LinkedIn can definitely think of, I think then it will be a much safer world.
Absolutely. And we don't want the younger generation to feel that, hey, corporate world is a bad place to be in.
Absolutely.
Right? We don't want them to feel like that. Shravanti?
I would say that agree to all the points what you have mentioned, but as a company, as a LinkedIn, it is the responsibility as well to take care of all the connections who are building in here, not to invade their privacy. So as a part of that, they should come up with some kind of a solution where as a company itself, they go and do these kind of checks in the background and post it on the wall, or create the kind of awareness to the people that this profile is like a kind of a piracy, or is a person who should not be contacted, or a fake profile or something, because creating this awareness would actually give a message to all those other people who are doing this, and would at least stop to some extent. May not be 100%, because there are people who would still not stop, find some other solutions to doing this, but to an extent we can stop this. And as a responsible people, I think as a responsible women, in the first step itself, we should be owning this, that we shouldn't get harassed. That's the main important thing, and that's very important for every woman, that to speak up and come up strong with confidence, so that the other person can understand that this is not an easy go for me, and I cannot do anything or say anything to this person. So you need to carry that carry that action with you.
Thank you so much. I think this was a power-packed discussion. This is going to create something, and LinkedIn will listen to what we said. It is more powerful to speak up than to silently resent. The entire motto of hashtag #V2 is to bring opinions out, views out, but real opinions. We don't want to be the armchair experts, but we want to be the people, a group of women who are coming together to talk about the real things. And if we can make a real impact in the society, and of course, our confidence, everybody here said they love LinkedIn, and I want LinkedIn to know that we love you. We love you. We love you as a platform. We want to be utilizing you, being there. It's a part of our life that we share on LinkedIn, and we are proud of it. So please go out and make LinkedIn as everybody said, safer place for all of us to enjoy business networking. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank everybody for taking out your time and giving out your views, your opinion. And this is a fantastic panel discussion that we had. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Poonam. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, ladies.